Pretty excited. As of this week, I survived 2 years of being a parent. Yeah, woo! Yeah, that's the response I'm still not used to sometimes, you know. Because right before I became a parent, I was kind of forgetting my age. I had a buddy announce to the world, I'm gonna be a dad. And my initial response was, ugh, that sucks. He said, bro, what are you talking about, man? I've been trying for a year. And I was like, oh, well, sucks it didn't happen sooner. And my girlfriend, she tells me, he's like, guess what? I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh, man, I gotta stop smoking weed. So we go to the doctors to make sure it's really happening. We want to make sure it's for realsies, Yeah, I said for realsies. I'm 30 years old and I'm still saying for realsies. And we're at the doctor's and, the guy's there. He's like, Mr. Medrano, you're going to want to sit down for a quick second. I'm like, Doc, I kind of know what's happening. He's like, no, sir, you're going to want to sit down. I'm like, all right. He's like, you and your partner here are going to be expecting twins in the fall. I was like, ooh, where's my weed at? But in the beginning, I got asked a lot. I got asked like, hey man, are you going to let loose every once in a while? You're going to smoke? And at first I was like, no. They're like, why not? I was like, because I know myself. I wouldn't do it in the house. I would smoke outside. But I would be too afraid that I would get too high and forget I even have twins. I'd come into the house and be like, what the fuck? Are my glasses broken? There's two of them. But it's cool because I got a little boy and a little girl, thankfully. Because if I, But if I would have had two little girls and if I would have been high and then I just cut the corner into the hallway and I just see them, I'm like, I've seen this movie. Boom. Oh, man. I always had friends ask me, though, I was like, man, what does it feel like to be a dad? And my response every time was like, it's cool, man. I'm just tired a lot, but that's it. It's fun. And I'm like, no, but really? I'm like, what do you mean, but really? I just told you. He's going, oh, man, but what does it feel like? I'm like, dude, what? On the full moon, I look at it, I'm like, oh, no. And then my pants just turn into Levi jeans. And then next thing you know, I just got New Balances. I'm like, oh, I'm a dad. But I love it, though, man. I really love being a dad. It's crazy. Honestly, though, this is I'm glad that it didn't rain on the way over here. We're getting to that rainy season, because I'm a bitch when it comes to driving in the rain, guys. I'm one of those. I'm not going to lie. Rain happens, and I feel like my ass just creep. I'm like, oh. But the reason why I got in a very bad car crash many, many years ago, I was driving on the freeway, and I was actually coming downhill. And when I hit a puddle, my car just did this, and then it spun out. And next thing you know, I started sliding downhill, and two things went through my mind. The first thing was, I didn't delete anything I was looking at on the internet. Because I know for a fact if anything would have happened, I would have not been able to defend myself, But ironically, right before that day happened, I was actually watching the movie Cars from Pixar. And if you've never seen that movie, the main character, Lightning McQueen, learns how to drift in that film. So as I was sliding downhill, it popped in my head. I was like, wait a second. Lightning McQueen said turn the wheel this way. So I start turning my wheel, and I was like, oh my God, Lightning McQueen was right! I got so cocky, I still crashed in the center divider, man. I'm vaxxed, guys. I'm vaxxed, yeah. I usually get more claps saying that than me saying I'm a dad half of the time. It's like, you're vaxxed? Yeah! You're a dad? Never mind. But I regret it, though. I regret it. I regret being vaxxed. The only reason being is that I did it too soon, guys. They're giving away free shit now. When I got mine, all I got was a donut. That's it, You go places, they're like, free groceries, free gas, a hand job over here. But when I got my, vaccine, that procedure, you kind of just sit there, you wait 15 minutes. And I was just chilling, and then, I just kind of started sweating. I was like, oh, dude, what the hell, man? Why is this feeling familiar? And then I was like, wait a second. I'm not going to lie, guys. I've done some drugs in my life, I pill popped a couple of times in my life, too. So I was like, did they put ecstasy in me or what? You know, after that, I sat in my car. I was like, fuck, let's do this. I was just listening to EDM music. Just Pfizer. It's like, sir, you can go home now. I'm like, no, I'm going to be here till my second dosage. Oh, man. I love doing comedy. I really do. I got into comedy because like my dad was a radio DJ back in the day, like in Coachella Valley. So I really didn't see my dad growing up in the beginning. Like during the week he would be gone, and then on the weekend he would come home, and like the radio life never left him. We'd be at the dinner table and he'd just be like, damas y caballeros, aquí estamos en casa de Medranos. Uy, uy. I was like, where'd he get a soundboard from? And he would announce things when nobody told him to. He just did it for the hell of it, you know? Especially in my T-ball game. I was that kid that sucked, man, that they put on right field, you know? Who didn't give a shit what was going on, just picking grass, just had a glove on his face, you know? But I remember when I had a moment to shine, the ball just, and I hear my dad from a distance. He's like, Carlos, por atrás, no, por frente, no, no, no. Por pendejo, no, no shakies for you. Oh, man. One of my best friends is gay. I love it, you know. She came out to me when we were in high school, and she didn't tell anybody. She just told me. And I honestly felt like it was a golden ticket because it was free porn to me when she announced her early experiences. So she'd be telling me, it's like, guess what, Carlos? I'm like, what? He's like, I went down on somebody, and I was like, holy shit. What else happened, you know? He's like, we made a number. I'm like, what number was that? He's like, we 69. I'm like, oh God, I gotta go to class. So when we got older, you know, she like made it more apparent, like, hey man, we're gonna do things a little different this year. We're gonna go to a bar, and we're gonna go clubbing, and I hope you feel comfortable. I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this, you know? We got to this bar, and I kind of like pre-gamed a little too hard. And I even smoked a bowl too, so I was just like, So I'm partying it up, and then I was ordering a drink, and then from a distance, I heard a song, and I left my group. I just left. I was having a good time, and I'm just dancing, and out of nowhere, my friend pops up right in front of me. He's like, Carlos. He's like, what? He's like, you having a good time? I'm like, yeah. He's like, remember where you are. I'm like, what? He's like, remember where you are. And I turned around, I had 5 guys just on me. I'm like, oh. Seconds later, a drink. I was like, oh, this is what this feels like. I was just taking drinks left and right, you know. Somebody was like, want to go home? Nope, swerve. But then I got a little too aggressive. It got too aggressive. And then I thought about the situation with my friends, because I've always been that fake boyfriend or that fake brother and shit protecting my friends. So then I thought, like, what do they do? And this guy wouldn't leave me alone. And I was just like, no, my boyfriend's in the back. And then out of nowhere, just this 4'9" redhead pops right in front of me. And she started protecting me. I was like, oh, you angel. And after that night, 9 months later, we had twins, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, you guys, my name is Carlos Medrano.